Poor Nolan. Oh, everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tube, or welcome back if this is your 18th Rookie Season 2 episode review. So I'm very happy to report that, yes, the Rookie Season 2 will be finishing on time. No delays, nothing of the sort, thankfully, because I don't know how I would have handled had they announced that Rookie Season 2 would be indefinitely delayed because of COVID. Oh, thank God. Hashtag bless up. So, yeah, Rookie Season 2 is going to be wrapping up on time, on schedule, in the next coming weeks. So we will be resuming as normal. We're pretty much going now in the straight run towards the season finale and the end of our content here on the channel for the Rookie Season 2. But I'll get to more of that at the end of the video. But however, tonight we're back for the last filler-ish episode. I mean, here's the thing about the Rookie, especially Season 2. There is no real, like, overall plot of the show, of the season, but there's themes and character directions they've been leading towards since we began the season, and so far this kind of felt like it made some steps in other direction, in two characters specifically with this episode, but mostly this was mainly meant to just teach another life lesson as usual. Not to say that that's a bad thing. I'm trying to be a little bit more professional here, but it still was a great episode of The Rookie that definitely taught some very, very valuable life lessons and definitely set the stage up for some pretty interesting developments as we approach the last two episodes of the season. So, but again, I really enjoyed this episode. I really did. It was another strong one in my opinion. This was pretty much the ride-along 3, if anyone saw the first 2 ride-alongs, which I didn't see. I'm only making that joke because, why not? Anyway, so enough about that, let's get down through the butchered recap and let's talk about this episode more in depth. So, we begin with Nolan and Harper visiting the hospital. Apparently they're being called in because a gunshot victim is claiming he wasn't shot, even though there's clearly a bullet hole wound in his stomach, and he's claiming that, it's gas station sushi. Which, I don't understand, like, why is gas station sushi a thing? Like, can we talk about that for a second? Like, sushi is meant to be eaten at a sushi restaurant by professional chefs who know how to take care of the fish, hopefully has real ingredients, make sure the rice is good. Oh yeah, not in the back of a fucking gas station. Sorry if I'm cursing. It just baffled me why. Like, even my own, like, place of business, like, there's a sushi place right nearby. It's not technically really a sushi place, but it's a place that does sell sushi. Even that's like, I'm still like halfway in between. Like, okay, it's more respectable than gas station sushi, but it's not really as respectful as going to an actual sushi restaurant. Plus, I really miss sushi. I really freaking do. I freaking hate this pandemic. Anyway, so Nolan and Harper about to do their usual stick to try and get this guy to, like, kind of, snap back into reality. But Nolan gets distracted when a mysterious man appears. It turns out to be Nolan's current girlfriend's husband that she's only separated with and not really divorced. It's one of those, like, complicated statuses in relationships. So while those two are talking, Nolan gets distracted and the guy, the gunshot victim, tries to escape. But because of his gunshot, he doesn't get far. They get him. And then there's a pretty awkward moment between Nolan, his girlfriend, the husband, and, of course, Harper. And Harper just, to be a stickler, decides to make it a little bit worse for Nolan. Because, yeah, let's be honest, Nolan can get a little annoying at Harper sometime and everyone else. So if they have an opportunity to kind of stick it to Nolan, they kind of will. So Nolan's not entirely comfortable with this since, again, seeing recent episodes, their relationship has been more building up towards, like, maybe they are ready to, like, fully get on the ground level of their whole relationship. This is not really, been really, really great for them. So we get the intro. I'm trying to remember where we went from here. So we cut to Bradford at his girlfriend's house, also Chen's friend, presumably having finished another, sleeping over session or what. I'm trying to be PG-13 about this. And she has some news for him. Apparently she got a interview for her dream job, and she got it. While Bradford's immediately finally a proper, genuine reaction from him is like he's happy for her. Turns out it's in New York City. So, yeah, I don't exactly know. Yeah, that doesn't paint a pretty picture for Bradford as well. But Bradford's being the more logistical side of things. he wants her to go to New York. He wants her to explore this dream job at first because it's a dream job. You can't, pass it up because of a relationship. But she's kind of conflicted as well, considering the fact that they have been dating for a while. They're getting to a good place in their relationship, but it's not entirely set in stone if it should be like, is this really a meant to be sort of thing? So should they make it work for the sake of the relationship, or what else? But however, we'll get to more on that in a second. We head back to the bullpen where Gray is telling Diaz and West that, hey, listen, so apparently there's a new pilot program at the police department. They're trying to create an app or some sort of database to kind of predict which officer is more likely to create some potential lawsuits for the company. And to no belligerent surprise, Lopez is definitely number one on the list. So it's like, I kind of feel sorry for her because like the woman just got engaged and now she's being accused of like, you're probably the most prone to cost us the most money in lawsuits. So to kind of like persuade things because last week, the last episode, she got back to potentially being a detective because of an assistance from another officer. So things are going well for her, but if she gets this, red flag, it could just destroy any possibility she has on becoming a detective. So to kind of maybe assist her a little bit, they decided to bring along the guy who designed the app and hopefully maybe persuade him to kind of change some things around in his algorithm to maybe not make Lopez a potential red flag. Meanwhile, Nolan and Harper are off talking about how they're on special assignment today. They're apparently doing a ride-along to kind of a scare straight program for these juveniles who just need a little bit of, of a wake-up call. Scare straight is when juveniles meet actual prison inmates to kind of like realize like, oh crap, I don't want to do this. I need to get out of this life ASAP. So they're on escorting duty for them for today. But then Nolan gets a call from his girlfriend saying that, so the reason why her husband/separated partner showed up at the hospital is that their son, which I think, no, we haven't seen in the show before. I thought we did. But, so he's not doing well in school, and apparently it is because, they don't get to that yet. So they want to have dinner to kind of figure out why he's doing this and maybe come up with some response to try and figure things out. And she has to cancel dinner with Nolan that night so she can do this dinner with her husband. And Nolan's not entirely happy with it since, again, Nolan wasn't exactly comfortable with the fact that she still technically is legally married to him. They haven't signed any divorce paperwork yet. So technically by law, she's still a married woman. And I think that's always been in the back of Nolan's mind now with this happening. It's kind of now back in the forefront. But we'll get to more on that later. So let's split off from here. That's where we don't get a bullpen scene in this episode, which is kind of a bummer. But with everything going on, it makes sense why we don't get a bullpen episode this week. So we'll stick with the Diaz and West storyline because no offense to them, their storylines tend to be the shortest or the quicker for me to go through. So they meet the programmer, the designer, who is conveniently named Elvis, which thankfully helped me out in my recap, because if it was like a very complicated name, I'm like, I'm just going to call you the programmer. I do not care about your name. Sorry about that. Sorry, that sounds insultful. I got enough on my mind. I can't remember everyone's name. So they bring him along for a ride-along, too. So everyone's getting a ride-along of sorts, except Shannon Bradford. So on the ride-along, he kind of predicts that, okay, so I can guess that she's going to probably go on very tame calls so that she can be proven that she isn't a liability to the police department, and all Wes is going to do is just make her seem like an angel. But Lopez is like, hell no, we are going on this. We're going on a bus right now. It could be a potential shootout, and you're coming with us. And we also meet, we get acquainted back with Nick. I miss Nick. It's been a while since we've seen Nick. And again, I forgot that he is recurring, but it's cool to see Nick again. So Nick's at the bus too, so they comedically take down this couple of drug dealers, or I forgot what the charge was, but they get him. Diaz Lopez. Why do I keep confusing with Diaz? I don't know. I'm thinking of another show right now. My mistake. So Lopez is it? Yeah, officer. Yeah, my brain is not working today, guys. I apologize. It's already 11 o'clock at night. I've been at work since 10, and I've been up since 8:30. So I'm a little bit tired, if you don't understand. And I cannot get coffee because my coffee maker sucks. Anyway, so they conveniently take that down. He gets impressed with the whole thing, but before he's able to kind of geek out more about this recent development, he gets a call from someone at his company. Turns out there's a guy who was upset about the dating app that he also designed, and he's there with a gun. So Diaz and Wes head off in pursuit, and they manage to apprehend the guy quickly. A little bit of a tense, build up towards that moment, but they got him. They got the guy, and I think that was it. I think that was it for the storyline. That was kind of a quick and done easy. And it turns out, as a quick resolution to that storyline, is that they were telling Chen and Bradford at the end of their shift that, so apparently there was another A. Lopez, because apparently the guy didn't freaking check the names. There's another A. Lopez in the LAPD. That was the person that was actually at risk than this Lopez. So technically, they did all that for basically nothing. So the guy wasn't technically wrong per se, but hey, it was a funny experience. So on to Chen and Bradford. This was mostly Bradford's thing this week. So Bradford's kind of a little bit, he's internally conflicted. He's playing the macho guy, saying that yes, obviously they're gonna break up. She's gonna go to New York, and that's the end of that. But they then respond to a call from her that she has this case that the kid hasn't showed up to school in a while, and given the fact that he's been in and out of hospital, there could be something else going on here. So they visit the mom. They see the kid who's clearly sick. However, it's not entirely set in stone whether or not the mom is poisoning the kid, and I've heard of cases before in my studies that there have been parents who actually poisons their kids just to get attention, to get money, whatever the sick reason is for hurting your own child. So because of that alone, they managed to pull him away from his mom to kind of get him some help. And yeah, so at first it seemed like, okay, we're moving the step in the right direction. Maybe we'll get some sort of development on the mom front end a little bit. Maybe she's going to attack the hospital. We'll get another crossover scene with the hospital staff and Nolan's girlfriend. But no, it turns out they're actually between a little bit more testing. He's not entirely, there's no poison in his body. There's nothing wrong with him per se. But there's something is wrong with him. They just don't know what. And then she decides, you know what, I'm gonna do some cross links with another caseworker that works in the same neighborhood. Maybe we can figure out something between the two of them. So they do that. Meanwhile, Bradford is talking to Gray about potentially moving to New York. So he is very much interested in still pursuing his relationship with his girlfriend. But the problem is that Gray said, listen, while it's admirable for you to be the John Nolan of New York City, of the NYPD police, of NYPD, you also have to understand, since you guys never technically moved in together, that you're going to be pretty much fast-forwarding your relationship like a ginormous leap. Like, you're both going to be new in the city. You're both starting new jobs. You're both going to have to be moving in for each other for the first time. And there's going to be a lot of brand new firsts, and you have no support system, Selena, because you're both alone in New York, so you don't want to have any sort of resentment for each other. And Bradford kind of takes that to heart, but before he's able to kind of really process that information, she shows up, and she's kind of a bit distraught that she found out that there has been some water line changes in the neighborhood, and they got switched to a private company who has been known to dump metal into their water supply. So there's the prevailing theory is that they've been dumping water into this line, and the kids are being affected by it since their immune systems are not exactly up to snuff yet. And now she's mad at herself because she at a quick fire reaction fought the worst of the mother, and she took her away from her son. And the chances of her bringing them back together is very impossible, since she has to pretty much admit that it's her fault and potentially like damaging her career. So obviously she's grief stricken. But then a little bit later on, she shows up at then Bradford decides to make some calls, and she tells Chen that she's also not picking up her phone. She's not answering her texts, and he's going to use his connections to try to get something worked out so the kid can go back to his mom. But before, I think a little bit later on, she shows up in the precinct as an arrestee. Apparently, she assaulted one of the workers at the company she was looking into, And Bradford calms her down. It's like, listen, I actually did my own thing. I got the kid back with his mom. It's fine. And they have a very, very heartwarming moment. I don't remember if they exactly patched things up with the whole breakup thing, with the whole move thing. That I kind of zoned out for some reason. I don't know why. So, but that was the end of that one. And so off to Nolan and Harper, the real ride-along episode, which is kind of a little bit of a dense episode. A dense storyline here. So Nolan and Harper are escorting them to the prison, and they have to stop for gas. And Nolan makes a very funny reference to his season 1 antics, where he and his last TO. It's weird. Can't they call her Bishop anymore? I mean, they haven't. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not gonna get into that again, but. So he was kind of mentioning that, yeah, the car has been totaled a couple of times in the past with my last TO, so they kind of like to shorten them out the gas just so they don't waste the gas anymore. So while they're doing that, they let the boys out, and while no one's trying to be, of course, Mr. Nicey with them, Harper's trying to scold them like, listen, you can't be nice with these guys because they're already pretty much criminals. You can't really give him the good man treatment, but Nolan, is about to start his usual banter with Harper until their car starts driving away. Yeah, one of the kids took the car, but thankfully another one of the kids stopped them. But although he claims like, I didn't do it for you, I just did it because I didn't want to get like involved in some issue with the police or something more than I'm into right now. So after that, they all head off to the the fourth one, that guy got sent straight back to juvie because of this. So it's just the 3 juveniles. So they head off to the prison to get scared straight by 2 prisoners. And one of them turns out to be our very good friend, Mr. Stabby Stab. Remember him? Remember the guy that Wesley nearly died over? And I got so nearly pissed off. He's in this episode. He's here. He's got a beard. He's been here a while. He's not entirely high. He's still a cocky smuck. So... yeah, that was a very funny scene where we get to see Nolan and the warden and these juvies and these prisoners. Like, they all have a very funny interaction. This was a funny moment, but it's not really sticking. Nolan decides, okay, wait. I read in the brother's file the kid that stopped the car thief. He read in his file that his brother is already incarcerated in this exact prison. So what if we get him in here? Maybe that will be enough to scare, especially this individual straight. So they bring him in, and that prisoner, honestly, is pretty much the shining example of a guy who is expressing grief and guilt that he's in prison, and he's very disappointed about his own little brother, about him already being on the track to be exactly like him. And yeah, it wasn't exactly a very decent moment between these 2 brothers. And of course, in true Nolan rookie fashion, a breakout is occurring. There's a riot happening. I'm like, oh god, why? Conveniently enough, there has to be a riot to break out the moment we get two police officers and 3 juveniles in the prison. Whether that was set up, I don't know. I don't remember if they actually mentioned that. But so they're all bunkered down in that room, trying to hold out. Maybe hopefully the riot's gonna be quelled under control soon. But as the longer goes on, it kind of weighs on them that this isn't happening, so they decide to lead back the prisoners back to their cells, and they're going to try and get the kids out of there. So they do that. They try to do that. The brother makes Nolan promise that, hey, listen, get my brother out of here. Just get him out of here. That's all I care about right now. Get him out of this prison. So while all of them are heading off with literally the legs off chairs, they're only sort. Weaponry. So they take it. They head off, but then after a little bit of a scare of seeing a dead body, the kids all just ran off ahead of them. Nolan and Harper and one of the correction officers follows in pursuit, and they get confronted by 2 inmates. Thankfully, Nolan and Harper, in pretty decently choreographed scene, they take them down. But before they're able to breathe a sigh of relief, turns out no, it's not entirely over. There's a bunch of more inmates behind them, so they just this is clearly one of the an example of they were clearly there's absolutely no way that they purposely got for the end of the door, closed the door, got to the gate, unlocked it all in a matter of seconds before these guys conveniently somehow did not reach them in time. So, but thankfully they're in the clear from getting assaulted. They head off to a second floor, a more elevated area. And sorry, my head's itchy. And they get a call from one of the prisoners that, hey, we got the warden, we got some demands for you. Call back when you are able to reach these demands. So they locate the warden. However, because one of the correction officers got stabbed during one of the fights, him coming along will just slow them down. So Nolan and Harper decide to leave him with the kids, let them get to safety, as Nolan and Harper head off inside to go find them. However, they realize that this is a little bit more of a precarious situation. They don't know exactly how to get there, so they rely on Mr. Stabby, who's like, oh, he's just in his cell, just like reading a magazine. I'm sorry, I'm using a Batman book. That was the first thing that I grabbed. And he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. Like, I don't do things for free. And it was like, and then Nolan does the smart thing. It's like, hey, listen, we'll cut you some deals or something, some incentives to do this. Just help us out. He's like, okay, sure, no problem. So they head to the cafeteria. They find the warden and 2 of the inmates holding her hostage. Then, so between teamwork between the 3 of them, they take down the goons, as I'll call them. They save the warden. They have a brief banter about the warden. Like, I ain't agreed to this deal with you. And it's like, okay, bye. And it's like, wait, okay, fine. I'll give you the deal. I'll give you your plasma screen TV and conjugal visits, which I don't know what that entirely means. But anyway, but as they're trying to leave, the remaining inmates show up just in the nick of time to kill them. However, the brother steps out and say, hey, listen, these guys are going to go. Let them walk out. They have nothing to do with this. So thankfully that was enough to get them out of that situation. And that was kind of it. So they send out most of the juvies home. Nolan has a talk with Nick about about his current precarious situation with his girlfriend. And Nick and Clear Faz are like, come on, Nolan, you should have told her the truth. Come on, why do you never do this? I love Nick so much. Like, I really love Nick. Please, ABC, come on, promote this guy to series regular next season. Come on. I mean, first renew season. Let's get season 3. Then we'll talk about that. But come on, please. Anyway, so from there on, Nolan heads off and he finds one of the juvies, the brother of the brother. There. So they have a pretty nice heart-to-heart that, listen, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to stumble. I went through some mistakes when my dad left me, and I put my mom through the ringer. I don't want you to do that any longer than you should. That kind of was, I'm hoping that was kind of the end of that for him. So, thankfully that was good. And then, as Harper is taking away the last juvie to head back to I don't know if it was home or the juvie center, Nolan's girlfriend shows up. And she tells him what happened at dinner. It turns out the reason why her son isn't doing so well in school was because the separation has been affecting him. He's been acting up. And the husband was telling her, maybe we should get back together fully for the sake of him. Let's make it work so he can, not fail academically. And so she, as a person, she's debating that to Nolan that we have this great relationship that's still just beginning, but I have my son. And she's willing to get back together with the husband just so that her son doesn't suffer anymore. So I kind of felt for Nolan in this moment because Nolan hasn't really had a good recent couple weeks. Because last week in the last episode he saw his what was the terminology? COs. His informant, someone he cared about, because this is Nolan we're talking about. He cares about everyone he meets, even his half brother that he never even met. He gave him a freaking amount of chances in one episode. So Nolan had to cuff his informant, someone he actually put a lot of hours into to making sure she gets the help she needs, and he had to arrest her away after her recent action. And now he just lost his girlfriend. And this is the second girlfriend he lost in this entire season. So, I kind of really feel sorry for Nolan. And given how supposedly what next week's going to bring up, it could potentially even be more bad news. But I'll get to more on that later. And, yeah, the episode ends with Nolan kind of shocked that this happened. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to really he's not really going to sit well for him when we come back next week. And that was the episode. So, again, this was a really great episode, really solid. It definitely put Nolan and Bradford in very different situation with their relationships, as well as all the ride-alongs were hilarious at best. And Mr. Stabby was fun. hopefully that's it. Hopefully we won't see him again in the remaining season. Maybe season 3. Who knows if we get renewed. And yeah, so my book's 2 thumbs up. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait for the 2-parter season finale, which I'll talk about in a minute. And that's gonna do it for me, guys. So if you were unaware, this was what's on the tube from ActionX. If you want to see what we're doing overall on what's on the tube, we are doing Katie Clean chapter reviews every single Saturday after its brand new episode on Thursdays on the CW. We used to do Nancy Drew episode reviews every Thursday after its new episode on Wednesday on the CW. However, because that's already been wrapped up, we're doing one last season 2 predictions video coming out this Thursday. If you want to stay tuned for that, see what I have to think and hope to see in season 2 of Nancy Drew whenever that does come out. And, but of course, if you only care about The Rookie, we do Rookie episode reviews every single Monday after its brand new episode on Sundays on ABC. And yeah, we're gonna stick to it for a while. So this is it. The final layout of The Rookie season 2. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad we're approaching. It's still a month out. I'm still a month out before I record the last one. But so the plan is for now. So we're going through the last 2 episodes is a 2-parters. The last 2 episodes of the season. So they're wrapping up. They thankfully wrapped filming before COVID really affected the world. So we're proceeding as scheduled. So we're getting the last 2 episodes in the next 2 weeks. And then, so we'll do proper episode reviews on that. And then the next week after that, we'll be doing a Rookie Season 2 review. And then after that, we'll be doing hopefully, barring an announcement from ABC, we'll hopefully be doing a Rookie Season 3 predictions video. Hopefully, if we get the renewal. Here's the thing, with everything going on, I'm not sure what's going on anymore. I know shows are still, are being renewed right now as we speak. So hopefully that doesn't mean that ABC is willing to give The Rookie the renewal. Hopefully. Again, with everything going on with COVID, I don't think anyone really is worried about the upfront presentations in that season and, having to make those announcements because with everything going on, we don't even know when the shows are going to be able to go back into production. So to wrap up that story short, so Rookie Season 3 predictions will depend on how things progress in the next few weeks. So I'll be recording that a little bit more later than usual. I tend to record the season review and then the predictions fairly close to each other because I need to have my mind still set in that show, still recognize the names because, so I still have a fresh perspective and still have that fresh mind to talk about that potential. And then, barring anything that happens, that'll be it for the Rookie Season 2 content for the What's on the Tube. And, yeah, so stay tuned for that. So, if you're unaware, this was What's on the Tube from ActionX. If you want to see more, please subscribe. I fucked up my snap. Subscribe to ActionX on YouTube. Also, ring the bell for notifications when we have a new episode review live. And don't forget to like, favorite, share if you want to. And also, follow us on social media to keep up to date while we're coming up with videos, any announcement, any updates. Just to let you guys in the know. I'm trying to get that to be more usable lately because I've kind of been a little bit lazy on not using Twitter that often. So, but I'll be jumping back into that fairly soon. But again, if you're only a Rookie Nation, if you're part of the Rookie Nation, I'll see you guys next Sunday for part 1 of our season finale. It's baffling and sad to say. Anyway, guys, see you guys next week. Peace out.